something freaking gross.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Erock Rodz. We're going to do our first impressions on the ENGWE Engine Pro 2. Let's see how this bike feels. Alright, so we're going to ride around the block just without any electric at all, just to see how the bike feels riding. So this is a very easy to pedal bike, which I like. Today we're just doing our first impressions. We'll do a full video review at another time, but we just wanted to get on this bike, start riding it. It's a beautiful day, and we wanted to try it out and see how it feels. And for anyone that doesn't know, I have a real soft spot for these type of bikes, these foldable fat tire electric bikes. I used to have electric XP 1.0 back in the day, and I loved that bike. I haven't ridden bikes similar to that in a long time now, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss it. Just being able to ride an electric bike like a regular bike, it's different. Getting a workout. Right now we're just pedaling with no electric at all. I'm just riding with Spencer right now. He's on his new bike. We're gonna go get some first impressions on this bike and see how everything feels. The thing that really intrigues me about this bike versus all the other bikes that I've ridden in the past is that this is my first time riding a bike with a torque sensor. That's the standout feature that made me pretty excited about this bike. So I've never ridden a torque sensor e-bike before, and there's something very different and special about this sensor that makes pedaling very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. But before we even get into the whole torque sensor, just the first impressions on the bike itself is that this is a very solid bike. I did the unboxing and assembly the other day. Surprisingly, this bike took a lot longer to put together than I think pretty much any bike in my garage. There was a lot more assembly than I originally anticipated. In the end, once I got everything put together, the bike feels very solid. The build feels great, and so far I'm actually really liking this bike. I'm not gonna lie. I like how it feels, I like how it rides. So the thing about the torque sensor versus the cadence sensor is that it really makes pedaling feel nice, because you're actually feeling resistance on basically all the different pedal assist levels that you put the bike in. Like the motor won't kick in to help you until it feels that you really need to. And something that I've grown accustomed to on all my other bikes with pedal assist is with cadence sensors, I actually made myself, what's the word? I programmed myself not to pedal when I'm taking turns, because once you start pedaling on a cadence sensor bike, the bike just takes off, and you could get thrown off the bike if you're not familiar with how cadence sensors work. But when I pedal with this bike going around corners, that doesn't happen. Like you'll feel the gradual electric assist come in, but it doesn't like jolt you right away like the cadence sensors do. So that's something that's super enjoyable about these torque sensor bikes. And for me, these type of bikes aren't necessarily about hitting the top speed or going super fast. It's more about just enjoying the ride. Like I don't mind going slow and just going on trails with this bike pedaling, because it's super enjoyable riding. I'm not struggling. It helps me when I need to. Like the bike knows when I need the assistance. So it feels great. We're gonna take a little pit stop right here, and we're gonna go through the bike just a little bit. Let's do a quick little walkthrough just to take a look at the bike. I'm not gonna go full review, just go over the specs and take a quick look. All right, so this is the ENGWE Engine Pro 2.0. It's an upgrade from the previous model, just the Engine Pro. And the main differences between this bike and that bike, to my understanding, is that the previous bike was a 48 volt and this one is a 52 volt. So when I tested out the throttle power, you definitely feel the 52 volt torque. It's a big change from 48 volts. You could really feel them. First off, this bike is a very nice looking bike, and it comes in 3 different colors, and I'm super glad that ENGWE was able to send out the blue model for a review, because this is actually my favorite color out of the 3 colors. It comes in blue, black, and green. It looks good, right? Mm-hmm. One of the first things that stood out to me initially is that, at least compared to my electric XP, this bike is taller, it's higher, and I think that's just because of the rear suspension. It makes the bike sit a little bit taller, so I have to swing a little bit higher than, swing my leg over than my electric XP in the back. And when I'm sitting down, I'm basically on my tippy toes. And I could bounce around and you feel the suspension, but it doesn't necessarily sink in. So we'll do a suspension test later on. But like I said, today is just our first impressions, getting a feel of the bike. I rode it a very little bit the other day, but this will be more of a see how everything feels, see how everything is tuned, make sure it's all put together correctly before we get into a full review. But first impressions so far, I'm actually really enjoying this bike. I'm not gonna lie. What do you think of the bike, Spencer? Spencer gives it 1 thumb up. Oh, he gives it 2 thumbs up. Careful, careful, slow. Whoa, careful. The thing looks fast. He's been riding it on slow mode, but now he just put it on the fast mode. Yo, that thing is flying. How you doing? Yo, he's going like 18 miles an hour. Slow down. Spencer, slow down. Spencer, that thing is fast. Yeah, that was going 18 miles an hour. That was fast.
Are you excited to watch that?
I don't know if you should be riding it that fast. Let's just do a quick throttle test. Stay here, I'll be right back. Okay, so that throttle feels nice. This bike has got that 52 volt torque. But the thing to mention about this bike is that it does have a cap on the throttle only speed. I believe it's 20 miles per hour, and looks like it's just hitting shy of that, 19.6, and then it's being limited. Oh, there it goes, 20. Well, 20 on the display, 18 on my GPS. And it feels really good, but like I was saying before, this is the type of bike that I probably would prefer to just pedal on than actually throttle. But it's always nice to have that throttle when you really need it. Like, for example, if I'm going to a dead stop and then I'm in a higher gear, it's kind of hard to start the bike just by pedaling from a dead stop. But you have that throttle, which could get you at least rolling, and then you could start pedaling, which is nice. So that's just the throttle only, but I'm curious how, I probably don't have enough runway here straight away to do the full 28 miles per hour, but I'm just gonna feel how these other pedal assists feel. I'm gonna go into a higher pedal assist level and a higher gear. And I'm just gonna kind of pedal hard. Oh yeah. Oh, my gears are kind of skipping. I gotta see what's going on with the derailleur. Something is skipping over there. Oh yeah, that's skipping. Something's not right. I'll have to check that out and see what's going on. So this feels, I love pedaling this bike because the torque sensor, it basically gives you the power when you really need it, when you're pushing the bike. And like I said, it's not about hitting that top speed, at least for this bike. But it just feels very, the bike feels very in tune with what I'm trying to do. which is what I really enjoy. What speed were you in? You were in high speed? Technically, this bike can get up to 28 miles per hour, class 3 speeds, with pedal assist. I am probably not going to test that out today, but so far, as a pedal bike, as a pedal assist bike, I'm really enjoying this. So the pedaling on this bike is just so smooth. It's very smooth. I love the resistance. The pedal assist and the cadence sensor are just so tuned so well together that it feels good to ride, to pedal. Okay, so riding in the grass, you're gonna feel the small bumps, but I'm curious how the suspension is on like bigger bumps. I feel like it feels good when I'm bouncing right now, but I'm on this like soft ground. Just a quick little look at the display. There's 5 pedal assists, well 6 if you include 0. On 0 pedal assist, the throttle is not working, but once you go 1 through 5, the throttle will work. So 5 pedal assist levels, but with the cadence sensor, I really like how that interacts with the bike. There is a 8-shift derailleur. The thumb will lower the gear, and then the trigger up here that will go up the gear. The fat tires and the full suspension feel pretty nice on these bumps. It's a comfortable ride. I mean, it's not going to be like crazy dirt bike suspension, but it's doing the job pretty well. Going through the rest of the cockpit, we got hydro brakes. It is a thumb throttle, but it's on the left side, so that's a little different for me. I'm getting used to it, but it's actually not bad. It's not bad having it on the left side. Back to the display. Sorry, I didn't go through the full display, but this button on the side controls the headlight down here. And the headlight, I have to check. I haven't tried it out, but it's a pretty small light. We'll see how it is at nighttime. And then you see when you click the headlight, the screen does dim a little bit. If you press this other button on the top, it toggles through from trip to odometer to max, looks like max speed, and then average speed. So it's a pretty simple display, but it's a nice colored display, which is nice. Yeah, so far I'm very impressed with the bike. I really enjoy it. Yeah, we'll go over the full specs on another video. I just wanted to come out and try the bike because I was excited to ride it. And so far it's impressing me. To me, it feels like an upgraded electric XP, which is a good thing. This bike is all about the pedaling for me. I really love the pedaling. The pedal assist features feel great so far. Yeah, so my favorite thing about this bike is that I could pedal through turns without knowing that cadence sensor is going to try to throw me off. I mean, on other bikes, the torque sensor reacts to how you pedal, so that's a big pro to this bike. All right, we will catch you on the next ride later.